Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your September 1st through the 15th, 2019 General Love Reading. I'm Keegan. If you're new here, hi, it's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I have started the videos just by saying thank you because I did take an extended break in August. It was very needed. I feel much more centered. My energy feels better. The readings have been awesome. So I'm glad that I listened and I took a break away from doing things for a while. Personal life has settled down quite a bit. That feels good. I did just do a little bit of meditation and tuning into you guys while I was shuffling the decks before starting to record. I felt a lot of confusion, and that was really all I could pick up on, was just confusion. It didn't feel overwhelming at all. It just was obviously just a space of being confused. And so I'm curious to see what comes out when we actually get to the cards about what that confusion is. Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and just dive right into the reading. I feel that that is the best way of getting started. I'm going to switch you guys over to a different camera angle just so you can see that. I'm going to start with this Oracle deck. That's where I'm feeling the most drawn. Then we'll go in with some cards and see what we get from the cards themselves. So, Taurus, let's see what wants to come out in terms of general insight for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs for September 1st through the 15th, 2019. I'm still picking up on that confusion. And it doesn't necessarily feel like a confusion about not knowing what to do. A Taurus, it honestly feels like a confusion about like what happened. What on earth just happened? That's what it feels like. So let's see what the Oracle deck has for you. What information do we have for Taurus, September 1st through the 15th, 2019? Any insight for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising sign Taurus, September 1st through the 15th, 2019. Well, maybe the deck itself is confused. What happened, Taurus? What have you guys... What's happened since the last time we connected? Okay. Well, I'm going to just start here. I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose again. I choose love. So, we're going to put that dead center here. I'm actually going to switch over to my cards. So, Taurus, what happened? Seems like you're starting to come out of that fog a little bit. You're realizing that you let fear get the best of you. So let's see what happened. I sense a lot of sadness from you guys too. I just heard I made a big mistake. I made a big mistake. Again, that's kind of vague. Did you misjudge someone in a way that wasn't fair to them? Did you just pick the wrong person? Did you let the wrong person go? I'm so curious now. I want to know what happened. So let's see what's going on for Taurus, September 1st through the 15th, 2019. Again, it's a general love reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs. Go through a couple more times, see what cards want to come out. All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to put this card right over here. Well, we do have the Lovers card coming out. It's also coming out with the 10 of Coins, which, you know, these two cards coming out together right here, I feel like this is a good relationship. Did you get spooked? What happened? Let's talk a little bit about this Page of Coins. I feel like this is really just a side card. I don't necessarily feel like this is a really important card in terms of the grand scheme of things. I think for some of you, you're just really, there's also a worry about whether or not something that you've been working on, trying to manifest in terms of a financial situation, is going to come through. I just feel like this card is coming out for those of you who have that question. This card is saying that that will come through for you. I'm going to put this card off to the side. I don't feel like it's necessarily heavily connected here. Now, these two cards I do want to spend some time talking about. The Nine of Wands coming out reversed. This card has an absolute energy to it right now of defensiveness and paranoia, which is what I think this is. I feel like this card is that fear. I think that you got in your head, Taurus, I feel like you got in your head about a person, a situation, a connection, and it got to you, and it left you in a place where you were the Seven of Wands reversed. You were absolutely exhausted. You gave up on it. You felt overwhelmed. But the truth of the matter is, this is the Lovers, this 10 of Coins. This relationship is something that was worth exploring. And I think you've realized that. So now what I think is going on with you, what I was picking up on at the beginning is, I think even you were caught off guard by how you reacted to this, how paranoid you got, and how much you sort of just blew this up. And now you're wondering if this is something that can be repaired. So let's take a look at the Lovers card. I think that is where we should focus most of our energy. Clarify the Lovers for Taurus. Ooh. Clarify the Lovers for Taurus, September 1st through the 15th, 2019. I'm going to look to see if a card flipped. It felt like it did. Just don't want to leave it in there if it did. No. Okay. Well, the first card out that we can see before flipping in the others over, we have the King of Swords. It's coming out upright. I think that this is just, it's good advice, I think. I think in order for any of this to be fixed, Taurus, you're going to have to really come forward with a lot of truth. You're going to have to get your own mind really clear about what happened, why you reacted the way you did, what triggered you, what caused you to have so much fear, what made you paranoid. Figure out what the root cause of that was, what actually made that manifest within you. And I think you're to the point where you're realizing, like, let me talk to you guys, actually. Taurus, what I feel like energetically is that at first you were very much like pointing the finger at the other person, and it was them. It was their behavior, their actions, things that they were doing, things they were saying that you felt were causing you to feel the way that you felt. Now I feel like you realize that it's not necessarily anything about that person. They weren't doing anything necessarily to try to cause you to feel those things, but how you felt about that person, the feelings that you had, the depth and the intensity of those feelings for that other person led you to the place where you were very paranoid, very scared, very uncertain, very defensive towards them. And what's happening is that now that you've had that insight, now that you recognize that you chose fear over the love that you felt for that person, and you're trying to choose again, you're realizing that you have to unravel a lot of those things inside of yourself. And so that has to happen first. You have to get your own mind clear. You have to get your own mental clarity in check before you can share that with somebody else. But what you can do in the beginning is just let them know, like, I'm aware I goofed. I'm aware I messed up. I'm aware that I got spooked by this, and I was creating situations and thoughts in my mind that weren't necessarily true. Just sharing that amount of truth, I feel, will go a long way with this person, because again, you have the Lovers along with the 10 of Coins. Okay, so this is something that is fairly solid. This is a connection that, this person, even just knowing that you have this insight into yourself and hearing you say, I realize you weren't doing anything to make me feel this way, just how I felt about you, brought this stuff to the surface. Now, we do have these cards, which I've not looked at yet. I wanted to just have that little exchange first. So we have the Knight of Swords. So again, this is just, I feel this is really you being on this mission to understand this, have success with it. You're forming a plan. You are thinking about this a lot, and you're thinking about this very quickly. You're working through a lot of this stuff at a very quick pace, which is impressive. The Devil coming out upright with the Two of Wands. So the Devil coming out upright just represents exactly where you need to go, Taurus, to deal with this energy. This is all about looking at your shadow self. This speaks to any areas where we have unhealthy attachments, where we have addictions, where we have areas where we restrict ourselves. And I feel like a lot of the restriction, Taurus, that you are trying to deal with, that you're trying to confront, is around your ability to connect and to form attachments that don't feel scary to you. I think that when you feel yourself attaching to someone, when you feel yourself, this lover's energy, it brings up a lot of fear. It brings up a lot of concern around, well, what happens if this person leaves me? What happens if I get really invested in this and then it doesn't work out? And those fears cause you to get into this zone, right? Where you get very paranoid and you start to try to push the person away before they can leave. It's that type of energy. Okay. So again, this card, I'm not feeling it connected here, other than just some of you who are going through this are also very, very concerned about whether or not a financial opportunity is going to pan out in your favor. But I don't sense that it's actually actively involved in this particular story. I'm going to go back to the Oracle deck, see if we can just get some insight coming out here around these particular cards and the situation. If there's anything that can help you in your process of sharing the truth with this person, getting communication back open with this person, doing your own internal work. I just want to see what the cards have to communicate. We're going to ask for specific advice from your guides and angels around this for Taurus, September 1st through the 15th, 2019. This card wanted to come out. See if we can get at least one more. Taurus, Sun, Moon. There we go. Okay. So here we go. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Coming out with, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. It's exactly what I was saying. And Taurus, you're well on your way with this, I feel. I think that you're realizing that the fears that you have inside of you, the fears that you carry with you, the concerns that you have, the worry that you have, like I wanted to use the word phobia, which sounds a little bit clinical, but I'm going to go with it. There are certain phobias that you have around connecting and being involved in a very intense, lovers type of situation. But you're realizing that those fears that exist inside you, they do impact, even though this is a divinely supported relationship, even though this is a love that is very, very intense and very mutual and it flows both ways. If you have a lot of fears around connection and relationship, it can cause issues with even a relationship like that. But you're also realizing that the universe is working with you. They're trying to help you get insight so that you can do this healing, so that you can choose love, so that it's going to bring you back into thinking correctly about this connection, thinking correctly about this person, a right-minded sort of approach. And that's going to reignite the energy of love. I do feel like this is something that will ultimately work out. But Taurus, it is going to require that you take the time that you need to in order to do this work. But don't wait to tell this person what's going on with you. You have to communicate this truth with this person pretty soon. You should bring them in the loop nowish. Like when you're done with this video, why not send them a text and say, hey, I just watched this video and it sums up what's going on with me. Would you watch it? That might be a good way to get the communication open back up, because you were led to this video. You decided to watch it. If it resonated with you and it's how you feel, let me explain to them what's going on. Okay. See if that works. I'm willing to be the messenger for you. But take the time, Taurus, to do this work, because not only is it going to help you with this particular relationship, this particular person, but it's just going to help you in general. This is something that if you can free yourself of this, if you can make yourself feel like you are getting a handle on this, that you're releasing some of the fears, you're releasing some of those concerns, that you're in a space where you are setting yourself up for healing around a lot of these deeper fears and worries, then I think that's actually just going to help you a lot in general. I think that you're going to realize that wow, this is stuff that's actually impacted relationships in the past. This is something that's kept me from having the type of friendships that I've wanted. This is something that's prevented me from really connecting to people the way that I want to. And now that I'm starting to work through this, now that I'm actually starting to feel some healing happening, you'll start to see shifts in lots of your relationships, not just this one that this particular reading is talking about, but within your friendships, your family connections, your own connection with yourself. You're going to see a lot of shifts and changes that occur. And that's beautiful. I'm super excited for you guys. So I'm going to stop the reading there. I think we're at like 15 minutes. I think that's good. Again, I'm doing the readings twice a month now. So this is just for September 1st through the 15th. This is actually a lot for you to deal with during that time, having the conversation with the other person, really opening up and sharing with them, going inward, investigating these things, starting to unravel them, getting to the truth of where these fears come from, where are they rooted, when did they start, what can you do to heal them. That's a lot. So this was a pretty intense reading for you guys, but I know you guys, when you decide, when you put your mind to something, you will get it done. And so I have no worries at all for you, Taurus, that you will accomplish this, because that's one of my favorite things about the sign of Taurus is once you realize that there's something that you need to accomplish, there's nothing that's going to get in your way. You're going to plow through any obstacle that's in your path because you have that goal in mind. And I feel like this person for you, they're worth that. They're worth going through what you need to go through, what you know you're going to have to go through in order to have something that's healthy with them. But for you, they're worth it. And so that determination, that's good. I feel absolutely 100% that you guys are going to have huge success with this. I'm excited to come back and do the reading for mid-September for you guys to see what's going on. If this resonated with you, please take a moment to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment. Both of those things not only make me feel good and make me feel like I'm connected with you guys and I did a good job on the reading, but it also helps to boost the video so YouTube shows it to more people who might also need to hear this message. So you're also just paying it forward and spreading the message, which also just helps the channel. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to do so. There are tons of the sign of Taurus who are subscribers here. There are some of the Taurus videos that have had huge views and lots of subscribers from them. So if you are a Taurus or you're a cross watcher for a Taurus, this might be a channel you want to subscribe to, and I would appreciate that as well. I'm going to call it done. This reading I think was awesome. I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for trusting me to do your reading. I do appreciate that. And I'm sending you guys lots of love. Bye.